Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by today. And what we're going to cover is the fundamentals of your weaning pen. So weaning your piglets is a pretty critical phase in their life. What you do at the weaning time can have ramifications on the hog's performance over its life. And there are three things that you're managing in this process. One, castration of your male piglets. Two, the actual weaning, separating from mama. And three, the transport to another farm or elsewhere, being actually caught and put on a trailer and manhandled, if you were. And trying to space those three things out is what we go for. So we don't want to do all three things in at the same day. We don't want to take them away from mama, we don't want to castrate them, and we don't want to put them on a trailer to go somewhere else all in the same day. Managing that piglet stress is a real critical component to their vitality through the process. So ideally we're getting castration done young, 2 to 4 weeks of age. We are weaning our piglets at 7 to 8 weeks of age, so we're leaving them with the sows a little bit longer than some of you may, or what is kind of the norm. And then they're going to be in the weaning pen for at least, ideally 2 weeks, sometimes as low as 1 week, but at least several days for them to resettle from that separation process. And by spreading those three stress points out, your mortality in your piglets is greatly reduced, and their overall stress is far more manageable. A much broader topic of discussion is the concepts of total mobility to confinement systems, or CAFOs, and I'm not going to get into that with this video, except to say that when designing a infrastructure around mobility and being outdoors, you have to accommodate a wide variety of weather conditions. And with this, we are trying to cover all of our bases. So right now it's mid-December, but it's 50 something degrees today and cloudy and not bad, but it just as easily could be 20 degrees and snowing. So when designing your system, having the maximum amount of flexibility is crucial to adapting to those changing weather patterns. So with this shelter, it'll stand up to rain and snow. The hay pack they can bed in, but if it gets really bad, we'll bring out square bales and stack them up underneath the side here and make more of like a tunnel effect to give them shelter from wind. Feeders, we'll put extra lids on them and so on. This fencing seems to work pretty well in all elements, regardless of snow, rain, or ice. I imagine some of you pig farmers up in Alberta would probably disagree with that, but we're here in Virginia, so we have to deal with more of a, kind of icy, slushy, 20 degrees one day, 70 degrees the next day kind of winter. And we got to be flexible for all those things. So, the wagon will be shading or sheltering from ice and snow one day and shading from the heat the next. So that's kind of the elements we have to deal with when we're designing these systems. So to take the quick tour of just the components that we use for our weaning pen, we have our shade wagon, which we'll cover. Drinker, it's an 80-gallon Brower drinker. Feeder, and because this is a larger group of piglets, we have multiple feeders in here. So that's just a 12-hole stainless steel feeder with a little homemade lid on it, just on a pallet so we can move it around. These are some new feeders we've been trying out. Don't have a lid for them yet, but they're eating them out fast enough that it doesn't really matter. And then lots of hay during these winter months. So junky round bales for them to play with, lots of hay underneath the shelter for them to bed in, and then they're getting fed a bale of decent quality hay a day. That really helps keep their digestive system in order as they're eating some pretty high protein feed here. For the actual containment of the piglets, we are using just that standard hog panel you can get at Tractor Supply or whatever your farm retailer of choice is. And then 3/8 rebar. So these are the same stakes that we use for the pigs when they're out in the woods, with zip ties, lots of zip ties, securing that all together. And so this is a whole cell here using that method, and we have enough panels that we can leapfrog cells moving across the field. So we've been slowly just moving our weaning area across this field. Now we are in mid-December, so we're not getting regrowth of the grass, but during the growing season that grass comes back pretty well. And we're moving them probably every 5 to 7 days, so we're not getting a huge impact on the ground. They will eat a lot of the grass, some of the roots, but not digging enough to cause permanent damage. Covering our shade wagons, we use these for pigs, turkeys, sheep when we used to have them, piglets, obviously, and even chickens from time to time. But what it is, just an old hay wagon chassis, and using our sawmill, we milled up some 3x9 beams there, and then 3x3 cross members. Attached to the outside of those is the components that you can buy at Lowe's for like chain link fence. And so those are the poles running up, and there's a pole running along the ridge. So that kind of gives us our main structure. And then for the ribs, that is 1/2 inch metal conduit pieces, simply bent down at the bottom and then bent over the top here, secured in with self-tapping screws. And underside of this one, we have a shade cloth that we'll use in the summer, so we just leave it on, and then during the winter here, we are attaching this tarp to the outside as well, using like that 500-pound cord, and just wrapping it around this outside board to secure it down. This seems to be okay for us. We're not a super windy area. You may need to tie it down more securely if you're in an area that is getting a lot of wind, but generally these tarps will last maybe 2 years. These are the heavier duty ones, so a little bit more expensive, but it accomplishes the mission of portable shelter to keep your animals dry, which is really critical in the winter months. All right, so weaning time is not the time to be training to electric fence or stressing your piglets out. This is creating a nice play area, a welcoming, kind of relaxing area, if you can put it into some kind of human terms. But lots of hay for bedding, lots of available feed close by, water close by, paddock to play in. We give them some apples during the day, nice round bales to scratch against. Managing their stress is very crucial to these piglets transitioning well, and so it's something we're going to pay attention to. Even just sitting out here for a couple minutes every day with the pigs, you can learn a lot about piglet health just by observing them, seeing ears that are up, eyes that are bright and shiny, running around playing with each other. These are all signs of healthy piglets. Just watching for that droopy piglet, that can be a flag that we've got a problem. So it's a nice break to take. Just sit here and commune with the piglets. Piggle. So hope you enjoyed the video. Learned a few things that'll help you with weaning your piglets. Again, love the discussion. So any comments or questions, feel free to post them. I don't really plug the videos much or the channel in these things, but if you do watch the video and you enjoy it, or even if you disagree, like our anonymous friend, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, share it if you feel like it's something your friends would enjoy watching, and help us grow what we're building here at Farm Builder. Appreciate you sticking around through a little bit longer video than we normally would do, and hope you have success on your farm this winter, getting those plans ready for 2017. It's going to be a big year next year for us, so we're excited here. And as with everything, get out there and get after it on your farm. All right, time for piggies to go to their new home. Come on, piggy!